Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today I am without the glasses, but a few days ago, I ranked every episode of the first season of Breaking Bad, and today I've decided to make the sequel, where I'm going to be ranking all 13 episodes of Breaking Bad Season 2. This is a definite step up from the first season. As you're going to see, there are multiple episodes in this season that I give a 10 out of 10 to, but there are definitely a few that are weaker. So, let's go ahead, and I'm just going to get straight into it. Number 13, the worst episode of Season 2, in my humble opinion, is going to be Season 2, Episode 4, Down. The first three episodes after Tuco's arc ends are just kind of slow, with Walt and Jesse not really knowing what to do, and I feel like Down is kind of just a very downer episode. You can laugh now. Down is just kind of a I barely even remember what happened, and I finished rewatching season two maybe a couple months ago. Um, it's the episode where like Jesse breaks into the RV, like to because he loses his house, and Walt like Walt has now gotten out of the hospital after his fugue state. It's not a great episode. It's definitely one of the show's weaker episodes. I didn't really like the episode all that much. Obviously, because it's the weakest episode of this season, and it's one of my least favorite episodes of the show overall. But I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. It wasn't a bad episode, but it wasn't all that good either. Coming in number 12 is going to be Season 2, Episode 3, Bit by a Dead Bee. Like I said, 3 through 5 are going to be at the absolute bottom. Episode 3 is the precursor to Episode 4, and I like this one just a little bit better because it keeps you watching a little bit more, but I still just find it slow and boring and not great. Walt is in the hospital for most of this episode. It opens with him walking through a fucking store completely nude, which was not anything I needed to see in life. Fucking traumatizing. Bryan Cranston, no, didn't need to see that, but it's still not a horrible episode. Um, what all happens in this? I don't remember episodes 3 through 5. They just kind of blur together. That's it. Okay. Coming in at number 11. Oh, by the way, Bit by Dead Bee is another 7.5 out of 10. Coming in here at number 11 is going to be Season 2, Episode 5, Breakage. This episode is still just kind of mid. This is the first one where Walt and Jesse get back to cooking. Thank God. They realize, oh my God, we need to start selling more meth. So Walt's like, let's cut out the middleman. Let's do it. And Jesse's just like, oh, okay, fine, Mr. White, you're right. And so they do. And now they're like in charge, even though they do have a little brief argument about it. But this episode doesn't have all that much that really happens. I guess the ending is good because it leads into a much better episode that I'm going to talk about a bit later, with Skinny Pete getting robbed by two people, two meth heads. But other than that, it's just kind of a slow episode that just we get to see the start of the empire that Jesse and Walt are going to build throughout the entire rest of the show. Coming in at number 10 is going to be Season 2, Episode 10. I know, funny how that worked out. Over. This is one of the episodes with the stupid black and white openings with the pink teddy bear at Walt's house and shit. I don't know, I hated those intros. There's another one in Down, I forgot to mention that when I talked about the worst episode. I think they're just kind of stupid. Over is a better episode. It does a lot more for the plot. Um, but it's still just not a great episode. We do get that ending scene, which is one of the better scenes in Breaking Bad, with Walt in the store looking at the two like meth heads and being like, "Stay out of my territory." I've quoted that more times than I'd like to admit. Just a good episode, but not quite a perfect episode. It has its flaws, but overall, it's not bad. 8.5 out of 10. At number 9, we have the season premiere, 737. This wasn't a perfect episode again, but it did a good job of starting the season. We have Tuco firing Walt and Jesse, and the ending where he kidnaps the two of them. It's still not an amazing episode, but it is very good. It's a good start to another season. I think that it's a better season opener than the pilot. Go ahead, shoot me. Um, I not love, but I very much like both episodes, but I feel like this one just did a better job of getting the season off to a quick start. Um, Overall, 8.5 out of 10 episode, not all that much happens, but we do get the rice and cooking scene, which is a fantastic scene. Great montage. Um, Number 8, I'm going to be putting Season 2, Episode 7, Negro y Azul. This episode opens with the Ballad of Heisenberg, which automatically gives it 8 points. Literally nothing else that I can say. If I'm not mistaken, this is also... Yeah. I think this is the episode where Combo dies. I don't know, Season 2 kind of blends together for me, which is a very good thing. I don't want to make it sound like that's a bad thing. That's actually, when a TV show season kind of blends together, that's a good sign. Because that means that you just remember it as a whole season, rather than individual episodes like I did with Season 1. I can remember individual episodes other than like 4 and 5 kind of blend together, but in a bad way, because they're both just mid. Season 2 has this good thing where every episode just kind of feels together and like it's building up to something, which it is. Um, but Negro y Azul is a good episode. A lot more going on with the empire that Walt is building as Heisenberg. Good episode overall. 9 out of 10. In the number 7 spot is going to be Season 2, Episode 11, Mandala. I don't have much to say about this episode. This is really focused on Jesse and Jane, which is a decent plot, but not the best episode of the show by any means. I'll give this one a 9 out of 10. It's not a very memorable episode, but it is still a good episode nonetheless. Coming in the sixth place, sixth. Why is it hard for me to say that? Is going to be Season 2, Episode 8, Better Call Saul. This is the most controversial thing I'm ever going to say. It's not in the top 5 best Season 2 episodes. It's a good episode. Better Call Saul is a very good episode, and I used to rank it a lot higher, but no more do I rank it higher. I don't hate the episode. I think it's fantastic. It's a 9.5 out of 10. But all it really does actually is introduce Saul. Every scene with Badger being arrested is just kind of mid. And I don't know. It wasn't great. It wasn't all that great. Now I'm interested. Which episode does Columbo fucking die in? It actually might be over. I have no idea. Um, I do want to add one more thing about Mandala. Mandala is the episode that introduced Gus Fring, so I'll give it that. But other than that, whatever. I think Better Call Saul is a good episode, but it's not perfect by any means, and that's why it's in 6th place. I know a lot of people love it because it introduces the best character in the show, and Saul is good, but no, he's not the best character in the show. He's top 5 though. He is really great. But sure, it introduces him, but there's not all that much happening with him in this episode, even though it's named after him. It's really just he's introduced, and we get to know that he's a scummy lawyer. Great to know for later seasons. He gets a lot more important later, and I like that. But this season, he doesn't have all that much going on. Number 5, though, is going to be the penultimate episode, Season 2, Episode 12, Phoenix. A lot happens in this one. We have Walt being contacted by Gus that Meth. I want all of it. And also the birth of Holly. What else? A lot happens in this. We get introduced to Victor, who is Gus's first assistant. And just, it is overall a very good and very well done episode. So I'm giving it a 9.5. Again, not the most memorable. There aren't a lot of memorable episodes, but I remember really enjoying this. It does also have Jane's death at the end, which was very good. Or does it? No. Yes. 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 Yeah, we have Walt actually delivering the meth after the episode 11 with Mandala, with him, bringing it. We have Holly's birth. There's a lot that happens in this episode that's really good. So 9.5 out of 10, top 5 episodes. Number 4, season 2, episode 6, Peekaboo. Fantastic. Absolute cinema. This episode was great. We have Jesse going after the people who robbed Skinny Pete in episode 5. And episode 5 is at the bottom of my rankings, literally number 11. If you remember from earlier. But this one just outdoes it in every way. So much better, just a lot more going on that's enjoyable. So 9.5 out of 10. And at the top of my 9.5s for this season. Coming in third place is going to be the season 2 finale, ABQ. This episode follows up from Jane's death, with her father, Donald Margolis, being, distraught, and Jesse also being in just a lot of pain. More with Walt, he wants to get out of the business, and he's getting treatment for his cancer, and this episode obviously ends with the end of the plane crash, which, if you had paid attention to the titles of the episodes, with the black and white openings, it spells out 737 down over ABQ. Bravo, Vince. I fucking hated all of these intros. What the fuck? But it was a good episode, and it tied up the season really well. It's a better finale than season 1 had, but not the best finale. So, 10 out of 10 episode, but not the best finale of the show. By any means. We have seasons 3, 4, and 5, part 2, left to go, with way better finales. But coming in here in the number 2 spot, we have season 2, episode 9, 4 Days Out. 4 Days Out is one of my favorite episodes of Breaking Bad. We get more into Walt and Jesse's relationship and Walt's psyche. A lot more happens throughout this episode. We get to see them struggle through the entire episode. Skinny Pete, I think it's Skinny Pete that they call being just a complete fucking dumbass, trying to find them, making the wrong directions. It's a good episode, but it's not the best. It's definitely my second favorite. 4 Days Out is fantastic. We get a lot of struggle between the two characters, and just really building on their characters, but it's not the best episode. And the number 1 spot for season 2, sandwiched between 2 of my least favorite episodes, as if it were a Jill sandwich, is going to be season 2, episode 2, Grilled. The end of the Tuco arc is magnificent. Tuco is my third favorite villain in all of Breaking Bad, beaten only by the Cousins and Gus Fring. Grilled is so insanely good. It is this ride with most of the episode taking place in one room in Tuco's house, in the desert, with Hector Salamanca. He's introduced in this episode, which is fantastic. Just a great episode, and Hank finding Tuco and killing him while looking for Jesse. Just a great episode overall, and one of my favorite episodes of the show in general. Top 10 best episodes of Breaking Bad. Close to the top 5. I love Grilled so much. Season 2 is just a fantastic season. I enjoyed it a lot more on my rewatch. It's still not my favorite. It's not even in my top 3, but it is, if I were to rank the 6 seasons, yes, you heard that, 6, because season 5 is 2 parts, and I will be ranking it as such, and rating it as such. Season 2 ranks at number 4. Season 2 is good. It expands the show as a whole, and it has growth. So, I do love Season 2, and I do love Grilled.